Hello and welcome to another video on the FDNY21 YouTube channel. Last week you just had Owen, this week you've just got me. So we are in lockdown at the moment and we live an hour apart, but we thought let's try and get some videos in because we've both got some new cars and we do want to show you them. And the one I've got today is the one I'm most excited about. I'm saying it's my new car. I bought it back in November, but almost immediately we went into a lockdown. This is one of my dream cars. I'm so excited that I own it. And if I'm honest, I can't wait to enjoy it properly when we finally can. So without any further ado, let me introduce you to my 1993 Nissan 300ZX twin turbo. So guys, here she is. This is Z. So as I said before, Z is a Nissan 300ZX twin turbo. If you don't know about these cars, you've got a VG30DE engine under there. It's a 3-litre V6 twin turbo, this car. Originally would have come with a 4-speed automatic, this car in particular, but the previous owner has fitted it with the 5-speed manual. So a bit of an odd one because with the automatic it would have 280 horsepower, I believe, and with the manual it's 300, so Lord knows where this car is sitting. So she came up for sale in November of last year, and I didn't really have an intention of buying a new car. If anything, it was a good thing. I'd sold my 124 2 months earlier, but I went to go and have a look with it, and if I'm totally honest with you, I fell in love with it. I think it probably helped that the previous owner, Jamie, was a really lovely guy, and he did offer me a good deal with the wheels that it sat on now. And yeah, she came home with me. The only shame in owning this car is the fact that we've now been in lockdown, so it's basically just been a Tesco car. So a few things to obviously show you around on this car in particular. As I say, it's got these different alloy wheels on it. They're not standard. These are 16-inch Rear line. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And they have got some lovely Michelin cross climate tyres on there. So I want to change the wheels, but I also think they're good tyres, so I'm going to wear those tyres down and then maybe I'll change them afterwards. It's got the square plate on it. That is because this car is originally a Japanese import, so it came over from Japan sometime in the early 2000s, which is always helpful with the slight rust problem that these cars can sometimes get, of course. You can also tell when you come back here, so you've got the square plate and you haven't got the reflectors on the back like you would on that. This car has also been fitted with a 2.5-inch catback exhaust. Lovely noise on this car, but it's also not that intrusive. So if you're going down the motorway or stuff, which I've done a few times, it's fantastic. But moving on, if we come here, I can just show you the interior as well. So we've got a code steering wheel fitted in here, which is a lovely thing, really nice to use. And you've also got an Nismo gear knob over there, along with an ECU dash. So this means that it goes up to 300 kilometers an hour, which is absolutely insane, considering a lot of my cars don't even show 100. Nice full tank of fuel, I'm now skin. And just in case you didn't notice, this car is a T-top as well, so it's everything I ever wanted. And also, can't get the leather seats on these, but these are lovely and comfortable, and they're in fantastic condition as well. Oh, and it is a 2+2, so if I want to take friends out, I can. Ages ago, I did put up a thing on my Instagram saying I was going to do a video on this car eventually, and the only 2 questions I think I got asked was why I bought this car and when I was changing the wheels. So as I said to you, these tyres have got plenty of tread on them, so I'm just going to go through the tyres before I change the wheels, but I will be changing the wheels, of course. I just don't know what style I really want to go for. And in terms of buying the car, well, this is just one of the best looking cars in my opinion. I think it's an absolutely fantastic car, and I also think it's incredibly underrated. If you think you can't go out and buy a Toyota Supra, a Nissan Skyline, all those types of cars for under 15 to 20 grand now, I picked this car up for well under £8,000, and I just think that for what you get, I'm getting a 300 horsepower car. Like, for me as well, I've gone from the 124, which was remapped to about 170, 180 horsepower, to potentially 200 to 300 horsepower. It could be even more because there's a lightweight flywheel under there. It's got the ECU so it can rev higher. I really don't know. But yeah, as I say, it's just the looks of these cars. I go to car shows, and if I see one of these, I run for it. And it's insane that now I don't have to run for it because I have my own. So I just thought I'd give you a few more facts on the inside of this car. I love how the interior of this car looks. I must say, the dash helps, and I know that's aftermarket, but that's fine. So you can see it's currently reading about 131,000 kilometres. Mileage has never bothered me on a car, but that's about 80 to 90,000 miles, I believe. Sorry if I'm getting it wrong. But this car's been really well maintained. I found out, obviously I know Jamie, the previous owner now, and I did find one of the previous owners as well. Speaking of that, and I wasn't going to mention it, I would have forgotten, this car for me almost feels like fate. So when I bought it, I put it up in the 300ZX group, and one of the previous owners, I won't mention his name, put in there that it was good to see that his car was still going around. And I looked it up and I realised that this very car was at a car meet I attended in Bristol, the first ever car meet I properly went to, when I had my Panda 100 horsepower. So that's 5 years ago, and this exact car was parked across the car park from me, and now I own it, and I just think that's insane. So now we move on to the beautiful engine bay that you get with this car. So as I say, 3-litre V6 twin turbo engine you've got under here, and as I say, it's just been really well looked after under here in general. Plenum has been painted red by some point. It's good to see you got stickers like this because Power Z are a specialist, so you know it's been well looked after. These have been upgraded at some point as well. They are obviously the intercooler pipes, and it's also got the ECU under there. Couldn't tell you where. I don't know if you can notice, but the radiator is a slight bit bent, but what I have got at home is a Mishimoto radiator ready to go on the car. I'm also replacing the coolant pipes. There's one here and there's a big one under there as well. They're both by Roosh, cost me well over £500 for the two parts, but it's going to be totally worth it because they both come with a lifetime warranty. In terms of other things, why I think about it that this car needs, it really doesn't need a lot. I'm going to get this done at some point, so there's a little bit of a mark on it, and the front plate is cracked as well. The thing is, this is a car I want to keep, so I want to get a private plate for it. It's a nightmare because I've got my S26 plate sat at home, but I haven't got a car new enough for it to fit on anymore. So there you go. If we come around to the rear, this has started to come off a little bit here, but I'm hoping I can fix that. And I may get a new one of these just because of this little mark here, but that's me being picky. One of the things, you can also see that this is a little bit past its time. There is a new one of those in the car, I've just not got around to fitting it. And also the seals are starting to go. As I say, it's stuff that needs to be done, but at the same time, it's a perfectly usable car, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, all the parts are available, so it's something that eventually I can get done, and I'm totally fine with doing that as well. In terms of modifications, I have actually got a front splitter by a company called 8less Design sat at home, but sadly it got damaged in transit. My Volvo is actually off for paint, and the guy who's done it is just getting me a quote so I can get it fixed, and he's going to pay for it to be fixed, which is fantastic. And then we'll get that painted and fitted. Lord knows how, because this car struggles to get up my driveway as it is. I have also got some fog light ducts on the way. I just don't like how these sit, I'm being totally honest with you. So we're going to get those fitted on there as well. I will look to lower it. I'm probably going to go with coilovers on this car, but I'm probably not going to lower it until me and Owen have looked at our first house together, just because, as I say, it struggles to get on my drive as it is, and I don't want to make any more issues. But as it sits, the other thing actually people keep telling me is, oh, doesn't have a rear spoiler. The previous owner took it off because he preferred this look without the spoiler, and you know what? I like it. I always looked at these cars obviously with the spoiler because they did come with them, but yeah, I think I'm going to keep it like this just because I quite like the look, especially with those enormous exhausts that you get back there. It looks great. But yeah, aside that, that's pretty much it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and set my camera to take you guys for a quick drive as I go home from here, just so you can see what the car's like from the inside when it's driving along, hopefully get an idea of how fast it is as well. Okay, so hopefully you've got a decent point of view there. I'm not too sure how the volume or anything is going to be on this because I've had this camera a long time, but should hopefully get you a good idea of what it's like to be obviously in the car, and we'll just see how this turns out. So let's see how we do. I don't think I'm making that. One thing I actually learnt from one of my friends, Georgie Motive on YouTube, that beep in reverse is because it's an automatic, and in Japan, when the cars go into reverse, they have to have that beep. So I learned something new every day, and I learned that from his video actually, because I had no idea why it did that. But yeah, to cruise around in, it's actually not too bad. You can tell you're in a car from 1993, so it's not the most comfy thing in the world. And you know, my sister's just had a brand new Clio, and I get in that, and it's like driving on fucking clouds. It has also got a 6-putt clutch fitted, so obviously, you know, it's not the best thing when you're stuck in traffic, I can give it that. Here we go. I mean that was 70, yeah, it's definitely 70. Wow, I don't boost this car a lot. You'd be surprised, but because this car's my baby, I don't drive her out of anger a lot, if I'm totally honest with you. If you see me in my Panda, I drive that car like an absolute madman, because it's very difficult, not difficult, but you don't really break the speed limit in it a lot, whereas in this car, you put your foot down, as I just showed there, and you're over the speed limit within a good few seconds. It's fantastically quick. Oh, I do love this car to bits. I don't know what's happening there. There's a police car in the McDonald's drive-thru in the queue with its lights on. What the hell? Oh well. But yeah, if you guys have got any suggestions for modifications that you think I could do to this car, things like that, then do let me know. As I say, all I've got so far is the front splitter and the fog light ducts. Visually, obviously, I mean, engine-wise, I'm going to keep it pretty much how it is now. Because I'm more than happy with how it is now, and I'll just upgrade it and make it look a little bit nicer under the engine bay. But yeah, any suggestions, I am all ears. You know, it's brand new to me, this Japanese car world. This is the first car I've ever bought. I can understand why people love it, because God, I do love this car. As you say, I don't drive this car a lot, but somehow I've managed to drive it 3 times this week, just because I can, along with putting a full tank of petrol in it. If you're wondering about fuel economy on this car, then you shouldn't own a car like this, because it's absolutely shocking. However, it probably would surprise you on... God, I don't know what happened there. It probably would surprise you on the motorway though, because when you sat at 70 in 5th gear, the car is using nigh on no boost, which means that it's not sipping through petrol like it normally does, which is really, really good. I know roughly around a tank. I always put good premium fuel in this, so it had Tesco Momentum yesterday, and it was 1 bar off the bottom, and it cost me just shy of 80 quid, so probably looking between 80 and 90 pound for a full tank of petrol on this. And honestly, if you drove it out of anger, you could easily use that up in 100 to 150 miles, and I'm not even exaggerating that. We went for a drive with a few friends just before lockdown around Wales, and I used 3/4 of a tank doing probably 100 miles. So as I say, it is what it is with this car. But yeah, it's like that. It is what it is. I'm just, as I say, I'm just in awe of this car. I'm just trying to tell everyone, you know, you guys all about the car and what it's like, but I'm just in awe of it. I'm absolutely in awe of it. But I am just around the corner from my house now, so I'm going to wrap it up here because I don't want people to know where I live. But if you have got any questions on the car, do drop comments in. I'd be more than happy to answer it, and if I've got anything wrong, as I've said before, I do apologise. But yeah, this has been my 300ZX, and hopefully we can do some more videos. A 350! Oh, anyway, cheerio!